What's going on to all my Taurus out there? So let's get into it. Hold on. Actually, let's cut this off here. Yeah, let's cut that off there. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on to all my Taurus out there? You know, let's do this. Um, and let's shuffle up these cards for you, Taurus, and give you a reading. All right. So for you, Taurus, you have the strength. That's my dog up underneath the table. The Ten of Pentacles, the Emperor, Nine of Swords, King of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, Page of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Two of Swords. Okay, so what I'm seeing here for you, Taurus, is I'm seeing how a lot of you Taurus, right? That's interesting. I'm seeing how a lot of you Taurus may want to tell somebody that you're really not into them, but a lot of you Taurus are interested in not necessarily like getting at them in that kind of way and letting them know that you're really not feeling them. Now, I will say this though, Taurus, right? If a person is unwilling to listen to you as you tell them that you're not interested in them the respectful way, obviously, of course, you can always just let them know directly, look, I'm not really feeling you, you know? And if at that point, if they don't want to listen after that, then it's up, then you can start getting a little bit more stern. You don't have to really talk to them. I mean, you never really did, but now you can, I'm letting you know, you don't have to talk to them. You could kind of leave them in the dust, leave them to think whatever it is that they want, because the strength, they may not really be paying attention to it. They really may not be paying attention to you, Taurus, letting them know that you're not into them like that. The Ten of Pentacles and the Emperor represents this being a situation for you where, because you tried being cool with them, you tried being respectful, but they're not really listening. So now it's like the Emperor. Now you got to start, kind of getting a little bit more direct in your approach and showing them that you're not into them. So I'm seeing how you Taurus may not answer their calls. You may want to keep things a little bit more professional as maybe if you have to work with them, on your job or something like this, then you may only want to talk to them about what's going on the job. That's it. You may not necessarily sit with them during lunch or any of that stuff, or when y'all have a lunch break. Um, Stuff like that. And the truth is, ultimately, it's really up to them to really understand that. Like, they coming on probably a little bit too strong, and they probably need to back off. But then you have the Nine of Swords. You may not really want to get like that, but you Taurus may have to, because sometimes people will act like they don't get the hint, even though you're not really hinting at anything, even though you letting them know directly that you're not feeling them like that and you're not interested. Um, for whatever reason, you may end up knowing them, you may end up trying to get to know them, and they're not really doing anything with the time that they have. They're not really making any kind of moves. So a lot of you Taurus may just be like, yeah, this is not really going anywhere. So you're not really interested in them because of the fact that it's not going anywhere. You see the uselessness in trying to get to know them because of the fact that it's not going to go anywhere. And you may have already assessed, hold on a second. You may already have assessed the situation and you know what time it is with them. You know who they are. You know that the relationship between you and them is not really going to go far. So you're trying to be cool with them, but they don't even understand direct communication. because they so delusional. The Nine of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles is you just need to be prepared just in case if they decide to take things a little bit too far. Then it's time to most definitely tell somebody. Let somebody know, like, this person on your job or something like this, they're really they're really getting very inappropriate with you because it may be time to let someone know that you don't really want this person to keep fraternizing with you in that way on the job because you trying to be you trying to be cool with them, but they're not really getting it. Or maybe if you want to handle this privately and stuff like this, you let them know what it is. You really take them through the ringer by letting them know, Taurus, that look, you're not feeling them, and that they need to slow down a little bit on the stuff that they got going on, and tell them why. Because you, Taurus, have assessed the situation, and these people spent a little bit too much time not really, you know, doing anything, not really taking any kind of action that is conducive towards getting into a relationship. And um, you don't want those types of people around you who's scared to take up action. But at the same time, you letting them know that you don't have any kind of ill will towards them. It's just that they spent a little bit too long because they should have they should have said and did something by now. And truth be told, that's exactly how it is that it should be. Like someone who spends, like it's okay for someone to have a crush on somebody else for years and not necessarily do anything about it. But at the same time, you know, if you decide that you're going to do something about it, and if you decide that you're going to take up action and do something about it and get to know somebody, then take up action and do something about it and get to know somebody. Don't try to call somebody up or see somebody and do all this, do all that, and not necessarily take up any action. Don't push the pace. Don't let the person know that they're into you. And that's what's going on for a lot of you Taurus. So a lot of that situation, right? I was just speaking to a Taurus about this yesterday, right? Or in YouTube world a few days ago about this same thing. And literally about this same thing. I'm not even going to put out who it's about, but about this same thing. A lot of you Taurus have that problem right around now, and I'm not basing this reading off of that person at all. It just happened to, you come on now. Y'all know that my readings are real. So you know that these readings be happening to people in real life. So they just happen to coincide around the same time. Don't trip. But the thing with that is that, this is I know everything I need to know about somebody when they do stuff like that to me, because it's unattractive to have somebody right in a situation where they call you, they text you, they trying to find out what you got going on, and then it's never going anywhere. And it's like me, I'm trying to make it even easier for the person. I'm trying to make it even easier for the person to ask me out or whatever. And then the person never does that because the person's too scared. All of that type of stuff, that's a dub. Because what that says to me about the person is it says many things. One of the things that it says to me about the person is you want me to ask you out to make it seem like it was all my idea, that you were trying to holler at me. No, you wanted to come talk to me. Step up. I'm gonna make it easier on you. Step up and come talk. If I want to go talk to somebody, that's exactly what it is I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna see it through to the end. If they're not feeling me, it is what it is. If they are, all right, then let's go. But the idea that somebody will call you Taurus up and like or try to see you Taurus, or like come by for you Taurus or whatnot on your job, or maybe if, even in your own personal life, they have your number and they never ever do anything with it. They never push the pace. They never let you Taurus know, I like you, I'm into you, I want to get to know you, I want to anything like that. And they just staying stuck like that, that's a dub. You should leave that alone, because because the person showed you everything you need to know about them. They scared. They so scared, in fact, that they will never get that, and that's their personality. They're so scared, in fact, they will never actually get anything done due to how scared they are. And that's how scared they are in real life. It means that they are an underachiever because they will never get things done, even when they know they should stand up and really push the pace. What do I mean when I say push the pace? Stand up and get things done and have some form of courage and say what it is that they need to say. 9 times out of 10, I'm not saying it's like this for every last person, but 9 times out of 10, the person's an underachiever because this is the way that they act in everything, more than likely, that they want. The Nine of Wands represents just like that, the lack of courage that they have. The Page of Swords. And this is why it is that I don't necessarily, one of the reasons why I don't necessarily get disrespectful is because you create a lot of people that may end up getting resentful due to the fact that people may take it personally. You know, if you tell them that you're not into them, sometimes, especially if it's in a disrespectful and excessive way, sometimes you'll have people who, will end up getting spiteful and wanting revenge and want you to get laughed out of the building when it comes to somebody else. Now, the Page of Pentacles represents this person, though. When you let this person know, even in your own personal life, that you're not into them, what's happening here is that they're going to start to get upset, but it's something that needs to be done. If you need to lose them as a whole friend as well, with the two of y'all talk, then that's exactly where it is that it needs to be, because they're not as upstanding and as respectful as they should be, because it's their fault that if they know that they want to talk to you, they so scared they can't get anything done or whatnot or whatever. Closed mouths don't get fed. So they're acting like they keeping their mouth closed. They acting like they too scared to say something. They too scared to do something. Well, I mean, what are you Taurus gonna do about it? Are you gonna try to do what? Try to twist these people arm, try to get them to come over and say something to you? It's not gonna work. The more you try to do that, is the more it wouldn't work. Is the more to themselves and shy they're gonna get. But they just let their shyness get to them to a point where it doesn't take them anywhere, and it doesn't do them any kind of good. It doesn't benefit them at all. The Page of Wands and the Two of Swords represents how, so you may have, like I said, you may have to lose these people as even associates, as so-called friends, or people that may be around, because they need to be stand up. They need to be honorable. They need to have character. And if they're gonna get sour about this and get mad about this situation and act like, Taurus were the one that started this in the first place, you know, they should, when it comes to dating, it really is simple. When it comes to dating, things really do need to be simplified. It really does. Forget, on some real stuff, forget about all of this, who should come up to whom and say something to whom. Listen, if I like somebody and I see nothing is happening between the two of us, where the person isn't stepping up and saying anything, I'm also taking into consideration that the person may not know me. The person may not know who I am. The person may not know that I'm into them like that. So guess what I do? I go over there and I talk to them. I've done it many, many, many times. Done it many times. Same thing with other people. Should do the same thing. Every single body, if you're gonna be dating, you need to have experience with being approached, because there's an art or a skill to being approached as well. You don't want to The objective is you don't want to be out here getting approached, even with even with being approached. You don't want to be out here being approached and rubbing people the wrong way. Then that kind of knocks your own game off, so to speak. That kind of knocks your own energy off, because you blaming somebody for them can't standing it and coming up to you and talking to you. You blaming somebody for that. So that kind of puts other people through a loop, because it's like, person is attractive, person is, is really attractive, but if I go over there and say something, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna get scorned for that. I'm gonna be, you know what I mean? The person is gonna talk about me or whatnot, not in the way that I may want. So it kind of messes up your own energy that you've got going on, right? So there's even a way of being approached. This is why it is that I say that everybody needs to learn without exception. And if you not, and truth be told, if you don't have experience in approaching and being approached, you kind of I ain't even gonna lie, you kind of lacking a little bit, to be real with you, because you need both of those skills, because it's an art form either way. For you to do the approaching, people skills. For you to get approached, still people skills. It's just that it just depends on the perspective. So you need people skills for both of those things, right? Which is still a what? A skill. It's still a virtue. It's still a skill. So when you have people who get, super offended, again, you know everything that you need to know about these people. Let's clarify the Page of Wands, which is you. Um, the Ten of Swords, the Tower, the Queen of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah. So the Ten of Swords is, again, knowing that you're gonna have to let go of this person or these people in general, because these people, they're too emotional and they got too much stuff going on, especially when, they should have really pushed the pace. They should have really said something to you, made something happen, but they didn't want to do that. Instead, they just wanted to just not do any of that type of stuff, not really push the pace. And then not only that too, but you also, this is part of the reason too, Taurus, why it is that I say that you also have to learn that there's a skill to being approached too, because sometimes a person may not necessarily like you like that, and you may think that they do, but when you put yourself out there on Front Street like that, what'll happen? That'll put you in a particular situation, because now it's like the person may not have been into you like that, but you may have thought they were. So when you maintain your composure, because you know how to get approached, and you seeing what type of approach they're taking, whether it is their way of trying to see you in that romantic sense, or if it's not, you know how to adapt to either or. It's not something where it's you just jump to conclusions and you're like, whoa, if you into me, da 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 da, whatever the case may be. So the Queen of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune, though, because they are into you, I'm just letting you know they are into you, but the Queen of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune, though, represents this being a situation for you where, so what do you do after this? Well, what you do after this is just you stop engaging with them, you stop interacting with them, and just let them be how it is that they're gonna be. And if they have any kind of wisdom in them, they'll realize that you, Taurus, are not rocking with them like that anymore, because they put themselves in that situation. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to make this YouTube channel grow to 10,000 subscribers. As of right now, I have 3,657 subscribers, right? So please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop these videos. Peace.